Hello, everyone. My name is Tegan, and today I will be discussing my research on Korea's soft power, what it is, and its global significance and impact. As Korea is a powerhouse now, it was not always that way. It took a lot of work for Korea to grow into what it is now. However, their power was not driven just by economics and politics. In fact, they employed the use of soft power and took advantage of their global spotlight in pop culture and used it to their advantage. To begin, we first need to understand what soft power is. Cambridge defines soft power as the use of countries' cultural and economic influence to persuade other countries to do something rather than the use of military power. On the other hand, hard power refers to coercive tactics, the threat or use of armed forces, economic pressure, or sanctions, assassinations, and subterfuge. This is not to say that Korea has only soft power. However, Korea's recent movement toward using this soft power as a strategy has really allowed them to become more significant in the global market. Soft power is a plethora of things. In fact, within soft power, there are 7 pillars that act as means for which a country can utilize to market themselves and expand their global significance. These pillars consist of business and trade, governance, international relations, culture and heritage, media and communication, education and science, as well as peoples and values. Under each of these pillars itself is even more specific things such as music, film, and technology. In the perspective of Korea, we can see their soft power in the mainstream of things, such as technological advancements or popularity of K-dramas, K-pop, and K-culture. In addition to these pillars, there are 3 key performance indicators. These indicators are familiarity, reputation, and influence. Familiarity being important because if people know more about your country, its talents, businesses, and resources, then soft power is enhanced. Additionally, for a nation to be attractive and a role model for others, its overall reputation must be strong and positive. And influence is a major factor in international reach, and it is a direct measure of the perceived presence and impact that your country has in other countries. It also has a way of assessing whether soft power really plays out globally or whether some nations' soft power is restricted to certain regions or cultural affiliations. But why is soft power important? Positive soft power perceptions allow a nation to promote itself as a place for people to visit, invest in, and build a reputation for their quality of goods and services. Soft power impacts every part of the country, and when used strategically, the outcomes can be favorable. The Korean government itself is aware of this and established a Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism, which few other countries can say they have. This ministry is responsible for the development and implementation of policies related to the promotion of culture, arts, sports, tourism, and religion. This ministry allows them to have some control over their soft power and display and utilize it. Of course, not everything is controlled by the government. However, when there is a success in the market, this ministry allows them to take advantage of it and manage it in their favor on an international level. This became a majorly important factor for them around the 2000s, especially when Hallyu was all the buzz. This catapulted Korea into the limelight and allowed them to utilize this. In 2002, when the K-drama Winter Sonata was a hit, we saw that the international market of Japan also saw that this TV drama as a popular show. And as Japan broadcast this Korean media, this influenced them to start doing more Korean media broadcasting. And this indicated peaceful cultural interest between the 2 countries. This exchange of media not only was integral for international relations, but also financially as well. Furthermore, artists such as H.O.T., Psy, and BTS had major impacts on the Korean economy, building their soft power. Just looking at the K-pop industry itself, the K-pop industry has created numerous job opportunities, both directly and indirectly, in various sectors such as music production, marketing, fashion, and tourism. The Korean entertainment industry put Korea in the spotlight, and this growth contributed to the business and trade pillar of soft power. In modern day Korea, the Korean entertainment industry is an integral part of Korea's economy. In 2018, it contributed to approximately 1.7% of South Korea's GDP. This rising interest in Korea has helped stimulate Korea's soft power, and this economic growth also showcases their soft power in business and trade and how it has affected their economy positively. The entertainment industry is not the only thing that has shown Korea in a positive light. and impacted their soft power. In 2020, Korea's response to the global COVID-19 pandemic showcased several pillars of their soft power, those being human rights under the governance pillar and values under the people and values pillar. This demonstrated to an international audience Korea's values and impacted their perception by other countries. Perception from other countries is very important. This can influence people to buy products or visit the country or support their home government in positive international relations. All this can amount to financial and economic benefits for the country and the people in it. Not only can these soft powers help internationally, but they can also help domestically. It can help instill a confidence in the people that the country is on the right track, and it even encourages domestic tourism and the consumption of domestic goods and services rather than imports. So not only can soft power be on an international economic level, but on a domestic economic level as well. However, with this in mind, there are some downsides. Because soft power is majorly impacted by perception, when things go south, it can be detrimental to the country. Recently, the martial law incident in December of 2024 saw that the soft power pillar of media and communication can have a wide-reaching effect. Following the incident, the hotel and tourism sector was impacted, and the Korea Tourism Startup Association said bookings for the first half of 2025 had already seen a sharp decline. Because perception is a key component in this power, when this perception is negative, it can cause economic and international turmoil. Korea's market has been on the rise, and this situation threatens to deal a major blow to the country's brand, which has been improving thanks to Korean culture and economic success. However, the handling of said situation is just as important in showcasing their soft power so that they can gain their footing back and keep their global perception on the rise. Overall, Korea's soft power plays a major role in their success, and the country's unique investment into a Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism puts them on another playing field so that they can not only maneuver within an international market, but to strategically hone their skills and curry favor from a global audience without having to utilize the coercive tactics of hard power in the process. Thank you for listening.